I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Good morning.
It's time to wake up.
This is Snowman in the Morning on the Arena Sports Network.
Did you not get the memo?
Let's get busy!
Let's see. Okay, that's adjusted. That's adjusted. All right. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Yes, I remember. I'm going to try it against my doctor's wishes. On your mark, get set, go. Good morning! That definitely could have come out better. Welcome to Snowman in the Morning, back after a couple of days absence because, simply put, yours truly could not talk. Thank you to everyone for all the prayers and the well wishes. Got a full show lined up, but and Jeff Escal's had it already. I'm in the house, party can begin. Speaking of Jeff, he'll join me tomorrow for some college basketball talk. Now, Liz and a couple of others said you need to rest your voice until at least Friday. Not having done a show in a couple of days, and she just recently flew to Oregon to see some relatives. And Liz, honey, I'm glad you're safe, and I miss you. The weather here in the Chicagoland area has been stupid. And I know Jeff's next words, that's what you get for living where you live. But we've had 3 seasons of weather, the third coming this morning. We've had Snowmageddon, we've had the Great Thaw, and now we got thunder snow. We got thunderstorms in February. And it's supposed to rise above 50 degrees here today. But I'm not a weather report, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Welcome to Snowman in the Morning. We're presented by Fusion Ions Bands. Fusion Ions, live your best. And also presented by Slugmaster Baseball and Softball Hitting and Training Aids. Slugmaster, turning batters into hitters. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/snowmaninthemorning and /Arena Sports Network. And also find us on Twitter. Tweet us at Snow Morning Show throughout the course of the day. And also tweet us at Arena Sports 13. Got some good stuff lined up for you, including some very, how can I put this, real words from Bill Russell to LeBron James. And anybody who knows what Mr. Russell said to LeBron, and it was said during the All-Star game, man, let's just say message delivered. And as much as I dislike LeBron James right now, I hope he takes those words to heart and does something with them. We got our question of the day at the bottom of the first hour, and we got the ASN Digest coming at 45 beyond the first hour. We'll talk a little baseball at the top of the second hour. We got our trivia time, of course, and also inside the journey, depending on how my voice holds up, we can get through the whole 2 hours. Inside the journey, I will use some words that Tom Thibodeau used, and I'll explain that more as we go along. I got Rusty Silber coming up here in just a couple of seconds with Rusty's morning wrap. Haven't done this in a couple of days, and I think I know the first note that he's going to lead off with. And in fact, he's banging on the door right now. See, this is how Rusty is, and I got to pick on him because he's going through a situation. I want to make him laugh. Here he is, banging on the door with pen and paper in hand, just saying, "Brian, I got your report. Let me in. All right, I'm going to let him in. This is Rusty Silver on the Gigahertz Hotline. Good morning, Rusty.
Good morning, Brian. Yeah, I'm knocking the door down for you here. Let me tell you, a lot of good sports yesterday. But let's get into it. Morning, Brian. Everybody, welcome to Thursday. See, I can't even get my days direct. Welcome to Thursday, Rusty's Morning Wrap-Up, presented by TCF Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Bulls made it 4 straight victories, a road win over the Raptors, 94-92 in Toronto. Carlos Boozer led the Bulls with 20. DJ Augustine had 19, 13 of those in the fourth quarter. All-star Joakim Noah, 8 points, 13 assists. Bulls will next host Denver tomorrow evening at the United Center. Also, the trade deadline coming up later on this afternoon. Could there be any moves coming for the Bulls? Most likely not. College basketball, top-ranked Syracuse upset by Boston College 62-59 in overtime. Loyola lost to unbeaten third-ranked Wichita State 88-74. Northwestern lost to 24th-ranked Ohio State 76-60. Paul lost his 9th straight, dropping a game to Xavier 83-64. Notre Dame fell to Miami of Florida 71-64. And Illinois defeated Minnesota 62-49. Games coming up this evening. 13th-ranked Michigan State visits Purdue. NIU hosts Eastern Michigan. Eastern Illinois travels to Belmont. Chicago State hosts Utah Valley. And Western Illinois meets Denver out west. Winter Olympics, Sochi, Russia. Update medal count: USA in the lead with 23. Russia, Netherlands, 1 back at 22. Men's hockey quarterfinals: USA over Czech Republic 5-2. Canada Latvia 2-1. Sweden shut out Slovenia 5-0. Finland upset Russia 3-1. Friday semifinals has Sweden going against Finland, and USA plays Canada. Ted Ligety earned gold in the men's giant slalom for the U.S., while the U.S. women picked up silver and bronze in the bobsled 2-man teams. Events coming up here today. Don't miss this one. The USA plays Canada for the women's ice hockey gold medal game. That begins at about 11 o'clock this morning. Also, the women's curling final, the ladies' ice skating short program, men's Nordic combined, men's freestyle skiing, and women's half pipe. Texas League Baseball, Tom Ricketts spoke about a resolution with the rooftop owners is needed, and he also believes the Cubs can make it to the playoffs this year. That's his quote. Golf, the Central Match Play Championships in Mariana, Arizona, opening round on Wednesday. 7 upsets. And those who got beat were Dustin Johnson, Zach Johnson, Keegan Bradley, Luke Donald, Ian Poulter, and Steve Stricker. Second round action begins today. Soccer, the Fire won its 5th preseason game in a row. They beat Colorado 2-1 in the Desert Cup, Tucson, Arizona. And lastly, Brian, it took Tony Stewart a while, but his feelings about Richard Petty's comments that Danica Patrick could only win a sprint car race if everybody else stayed home finally bubbled over. Before a live audience, an appearance near Daytona International Speedway, Stewart told Performance Racing Network that he suggested to his Stewart Haas racing driver that she challenge the 76-year-old Petty to a race. Rusty Silver for the Arena Sports Network, and don't forget to visit TCF Bank for more information.
Y'all wonder why I love these last notes that Rusty gives me? Sometimes they can even leave me speechless. Not as speechless as I've been for the past 2 days. But I'd love to see that kind of race. I'd actually pay money to see that race. Oh, good Lord. What? I won't touch that one. Thank you, Rusty.
Have a good day. Bye.
Oh, gracious. Oh, man. I'm actually speechless after that one. All right. I'm going to a break. Back in the deuce.
Anne-Marie specializes in premier 5-star vendor and craft shows. She also offers event planning for special events of any kind. Anne-Marie's goal is to provide both her vendors and shoppers with an exceptional experience, believing that promotion is the key to any successful event. Anne-Marie has developed personal relationships with her vendors and is constantly being sought by vendors who would like to participate in her popular events, often with wait lists for vendors. Working with Anne-Marie is an enjoyable, stress-free experience. Anne-Marie is a perfectionist and very creative. She is 100% committed to each event from beginning to end and believes that promotion is the key to any successful event. No stone will go unturned as it relates to promotion. For the ultimate in event planning, contact Anne-Marie today at 219-741-0435 or visit anne-marieprince.com. Premier events in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana are brought to you by Anne-Marie.
How do you turn a batter into a hitter? With Slugmaster Hitting Stations. Slugmaster Hitting Stations are the most effective and durable baseball and softball batting practice devices available. Versatile, compact, and easy to use, they are excellent tools for ball player at any skill level. Attached to any pole or post for an instant hitting station. Use it at the ballpark, at home, or anywhere you want to get some hits in. Work the strike zone, top to bottom, in and out. The most complete workout year-round, indoors or outdoors, teams or individuals. Slugmaster equipment is constructed from high-grade steel. The rugged design means years and years of use. Slugmaster equipment is used by youth, high school, college, and professional ball players. For more information or to place your order, call 708-705-7354 or visit slugmaster.com. Slugmaster Baseball and Softball Hitting Aids, turning batters into hitters.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Okay.
So, what do you do on Sundays?
I usually try to make it to the gym and play video games.
Go to the zoo, and then you have lunch and nap, and there's some diapers.
Between ballet classes and...
I can totally imagine you doing ballet.
Yeah, well, not me, but taking my two girls to ballet.
Did you know TCF Bank is open Sundays? How would that make life easier?
That would mean a lot.
I do like to have the bank open on Sunday, and that's one of the reasons I use TCF.
I completely agree. It's a bummer when you realize at the end of the week that you have something to take care of and the bank's not open.
Yeah. But TCF Bank is open on Sundays.
I can't believe it.
It's amazing.
That is amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
So you might go and talk to a person on Sunday?
Yeah, I like talking to persons.
You know what? I can tell that about you. TCF Bank is open 7 days, including Sundays. Surprised? Come into the home of free checking and open an account today. For locations and more information, call 1-855-OPEN-TCF or go to tcfbank.com. TCF Bank. Surprisingly convenient. Member FDIC.
Josh and Jeff, wake the bleep up. Wake up, I said.
I don't want to work. I want to bang on the drum all day. I don't want to play. I just want to bang on the drum all day.
Snowman in the morning, back at you here. 13 beyond the hour. Thought I misread that clock for a moment. We are this segment presented by TCF Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Visit tcfbank.com for more information. And we got a new sponsor. I'll tell you about that during the second half of the show. If you can hear if y'all hear my voice, you know that I'm glad to be back on, but at the same time, with the busy weekend that's on tap, have to be careful. So bear with us. One of the spotlighted ones. You know what, Josh? You are the spotlight. You are the spotlight, Josh. And I'm not reading this post that you put in the chat room about your biology teacher. I'm not going to go there as bad as I want to. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, of course. My producer, Josh Lopez, and Jeff Escal of Sports World Radio. You can hear him 5 days a week at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I'm going to have a little fun with Jeff because Jeff has vowed and demanded, of course I'm kidding as I say that I come on his show. So we're going to work it out where I do come on to his show. You know, and he's so nice about it. He says, you got to come on my show, right? Yeah. And every time that Jeff and I talk, and he kids around with me and I kid around with him, and the same with Josh. He's like, you got to come on my show, right? Yes, I know. Josh did a show yesterday. I want to say it's Pro Wrestling Experience. And let me tell y'all something. Do not be surprised within the next few months that Josh is sitting in this chair doing a show of his own for ASN when when we blow open the doors to our new studio, and our target is the same, Labor Day weekend, to open the doors to our studio. So we are really working on that. And speaking of that, we're going to need your help to get it done. So why don't you consider becoming a listening partner for only $30 a year? You help us get our studios open and upgraded and everything that goes with it. You get some great programming, and you get a couple of surprises as well. Visit thearenasportsnetwork.com/listener partner for more information. The only person that's missing from this conversation is a pretty young lady named Liz, and she is visiting family out in Oregon for her birthday. But I'm still going to say happy birthday to her tomorrow. And an autograph. An autograph. Yeah, right. Shut up, Josh. Oh, man. Many parts of the crew here with me this morning inside the chat room. If you're on our show page at thearenasportsnetwork.com/SITM, jump on the Spreaker, and you can join us in the chat room and have a lot of fun with us as well. Now, there was a postscript to the All-Star game. And the postscript came from one legendary Bill Russell. Now, a question was posed to LeBron James and Kobe Bryant about their basketball Mount Rushmore, which would be their top 4 players. LeBron gave his answer, Kobe gave his answer, but LeBron's answer did not include Bill Russell. And that prompted the most wicked smile I can imagine Bill Russell having. And it also prompted this response, quote, "Hey, thank you for leaving me off your Mount Rushmore. I'm glad you did. Basketball is a team game. It's not for individual honors. I won back-to-back state championships in high school, back-to-back NCAA championships in college. I won an NBA championship my first year in the league and an NBA championship in my last year, 9 in between. And that, Mr. James, is etched in stone." Ouch. You talk about a slap across the face. This is no slap on the wrist, folks. This is the legendary Bill Russell giving an education in that short statement to LeBron James about basketball being a team game. And that's what a lot of us, myself included, Jeff said what Bill Russell said to LaQueen James was awesome. And it's also the truth. It's also the truth. It is a team game. And an individual makes a team better. Bill Russell did it. Magic Johnson did it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it. Michael Jordan did it. Making the team better. That is the whole thing. You know, and it took LeBron joining 2 other stars to finally see his potential, if you want to call it that. I still believe that LBJ will never see his full potential. And the reason he will never see his full potential is because his ego and everything else associated with his ego, including the folks involved in his team, get in the way. I have not seen a part of LeBron James's game that has improved. I'm being honest. I'm being totally honest. And I ran into someone yesterday who's a big-time LBJ fan. And I was kidding around with him, and I said, all right, you have to leave. You can't wear that stuff in here. He says, I'm an LBJ freak. And I'm going, oh, Lord, not one of those. And I've run into a few of them, quite a few of them. And he and I started having a conversation, and I said, tell me something about LeBron James that makes him stand out in the NBA right now. He couldn't answer me. Because LeBron James is being put on a pedestal by the league itself. He has not earned anything and this is one man's opinion. Keep this in mind, folks. This is one man's opinion. This is from what I have seen of LeBron James. He has not earned a thing. And the reason I feel he has not earned a thing, he took a crappy Cleveland team to the NBA Finals. They rode his back. And Daniel Gibson had one good game in that run. And I am wrong, and I'm going to get hit for this. Liz is in the chat room with us. Hi, sweetheart. Glad you're safe out in Oregon. But what I'm talking about, LeBron James, in my opinion and in my eyes, has not earned the cotton picking thing. Okay, and this will make Liz smile. Paul George and Danny Granger have done a lot more than LeBron James has. And I know people will make the argument, LeBron has won the last 2 titles. Yeah, but he had some help. In the last 2 NBA finals, he's made one shot that counts. One. Okay? Now, he had an incredible Game 6 against the Boston Celtics last year that got them to a Game 7 and eventually got them to the finals. But the word I use a lot, and y'all know who listening know I use this word a lot, is consistency. And to me, LeBron has not shown that. Now, is there a chance for me to see something where he proves me wrong? Of course there is. There's always time and opportunity for players to improve, period. And I will always say that. If a player proves me wrong and I said it on air, I will apologize and I will change my opinion. That's what we do. But Bill Russell's words hit home not only with me, I'm hoping they hit home with LBJ so he can actually become a better teammate and have his name etched in stone. As far as I'm concerned, right now it's etched in pencil. He is preceded by a personality, not his game. He cries when he doesn't get the fouls that he wants. He cries when he doesn't get the baskets or the advantages that he wants. There is no, and I said it before and I will say it again, there is no part of his game that has improved in 10 seasons. I am being honest. Now, I will say he has developed somewhat of a jump shot, and I'm not around his practices. I'm not around his private workout sessions. True, I am just a fellow who's a talking head on the microphone, but I am going to speak about what I have seen. And everybody wants to compare LBJ to MJ. Now, I will give LeBron James this. When he moved to Miami, he took off the number 23. Because I've always said this, Liz has said it to me, and we agree. There's only one player that made number 23 sexy, and his last name is not James. His last name's Jordan, okay? Bill Russell did the same for number 6, period. Jeff says, think his defense has improved. That, for me, the jury's out on that. On-ball individual defense, yes, I'll give you that. But I'm talking about within the concept of a team defense. Okay? And there's one thing about LeBron that I have still yet to see, note the words I'm going to add, on a consistent basis. Okay? And the one thing I have still yet to see from LBJ is a killer instinct. I'm talking about taking your game to a level when you have an opponent down, you don't let them back up. The greats before him had that killer instinct. The great teams before the Miami Heat had that killer instinct. The Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Showtime Lakers, the Chicago Bulls, the Detroit Pistons, the San Antonio Spurs. Until I see LBJ develop a killer instinct that even Kobe has more of. You want to talk about today's stars, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Durant. I'm talking about a killer instinct where if your team is down and he's on the floor, you have no chance of coming back. That's the kind of killer instinct I'm used to seeing. Because let me go back to the Showtime Lakers. Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, Byron Scott, and those guys. When they made their run, if you had them down and you didn't put them away, if they made their run and got back in the game, it was over because they were going to take the next possession and turn it into a 10 or a 12-point run. And you would not be able to stop them. Before you could even blink, they would turn a 6-point deficit into a 14-point lead and have you shaking your head wondering what the hell happened. I had a conversation with Cliff Livingston last summer, and I'll play that conversation sometime next week. And he mentioned this, and it's so true with MJ's Bulls dynasty of the 90s. With the Bulls dynasty of the 90s and all the great dynasties before the Bulls share this trait. And, oh, thank you, Liz. Reggie Miller as well. See, Reggie's killer instinct came from 28 feet on the floor. I'll get back to the Bulls dynasty in a moment. Reggie's killer instinct came from 28 feet on the floor, which is why you can't mention the name Reggie Miller in New York right now, even though he's been in the Garden several times. You know, Jeff Escal adds, I agree, James doesn't have that killer instinct that like Jordan did, and I totally agree with that. It's the truth. He's never had that killer instinct. Back to my point about the Bulls. I had a conversation with Cliff Livingston. When I did the afternoon locker room, I had a good 20-minute conversation. Oh, that's why you hate Reggie Miller. Now I got a reason to mess with Jeff. No, I'm kidding. My buddy Michael Lyle's a Knicks fan, so I bet he'd say the same thing. But you got to give Reggie his props. You got to give Reggie his props, and I do. I mean, as a longtime Bulls fan, I hated Reggie Miller, but I loved him also the way he lifted that Pacer team and that city. Okay. One of the other things I loved about Reggie Miller, I mentioned the way that he lifted the team, the Pacers and the city, is the fact that he stayed with the Pacers for 18 years. You know, when he had his retirement speech, when the owner decided to roll out a Bentley for him at what was then called Conseco Fieldhouse, he said, "For the past 18 years, I am proud to be a Pacer and proud to be a Hoosier." Reggie Miller is one of the sports icons that defines Indianapolis, Indiana, period. Jeff, you're not the only one that blames Spike Lee for that performance, and we're talking about the 25 points that Reggie put up in Game 5 in 1994. But like I said, my conversation with Cliff Livingston, he mentioned something that's very, very true. Excuse my voice. When he said, when the Bulls walked on the floor, it wasn't a question of whether they would win or not. It was a question of how many points they would win by. My friend Alex back in the day said it best, and he used ridiculous numbers, but it's so true, and this defines the killer instinct that all the great players had, and it fed into their team. The Bulls could be down by 100, and they'll come back and win by 300. How many times during that Bulls run you see them down by 10 at the end of the first period, and then you walk away and you come back and they're up by 25? I don't see that kind of instinct from LBJ, and I don't see that feeding into the Miami Heat. I don't see it. I have not seen it. I have not seen it from LBJ individually, and I have never seen it with the teams that he was with. Lord knows you never saw that in Cleveland. I got a buddy tuned in, Mike. His name is Mike Ventola. He's going to join me tomorrow for the second half of the show. Mike, thank you very much. Billy Smith, another friend of mine, over at Harper College here in the Chicagoland area, also tuned in as well. Thank you, gents, for tuning in. I'll talk about Mike Ventola in just a moment. He's a very dear friend of mine. But you don't see that kind of killer instinct in LeBron that you saw in the players and teams that preceded him. You never see that killer instinct. And until he actually develops that instinct, until he actually realizes what he's doing. And I got a response from Mike Ventola about Reggie Miller. I'll get to that in a moment. Mike's a Knicks. I figured Mike's a Knicks fan. Oh man, big time Knicks fan. But until I see that killer instinct from LBJ, he's never going to measure up to the teams and the stars that preceded him. Period. Snowman in the Morning, this portion presented by Fusion Ions Bands. Go to FusionIons.com for more information. Fusion Ions, live your best. Liz has an additional thought. Those Chicago Bulls were so good, not just because of Jordan, but because they played as a team and he wasn't selfish with the ball. You know what, Liz? You made a great point. Cliff made that same point. But you know who got MJ to trust his teammates more? That was Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson got in his head when Phil Jackson took over in 1989 for the 89-90 season. He got MJ to A, trust the triangle offense, and B, trust his teammates. And MJ admitted it. He had to get Michael, who was the most dynamic player at the time in the NBA, the most dynamic player period in my eyes. I know I'm going to get some arguments, but I welcome the arguments. But the most dynamic player at the time, Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson got in his head and told him to trust his teammates. That explains John Paxson in 93. That explains Steve Kerr in 97, both with game-winning shots. Want to play a little fantasy baseball? Send an email to swrshow@gmail.com, and my buddy Jeff Escow will send you an invite. The 2014 baseball season is here. Play a little fantasy baseball with Sports World Radio. Again, the email address, swrshow@gmail.com. Speaking of baseball, I had something else planned for this segment, and I will get to that in just a moment. Speaking of baseball, I mentioned this fellow's name just a couple moments ago, and he's going to be on with me tomorrow. His name is Mike Ventola. Mike Ventola, and I think he's going to give me permission to say this because we talked about it yesterday. Mike Ventola, for the past 2 seasons, served as the play-by-play voice and director of broadcasting of the Southern Illinois Miners. And I listened to him, and he calls a great game. He calls an absolutely wonderful game. And I had the pleasure of sitting in with him for 2 series last summer when the Miners came up to play the Windy City Thunderbolts at Standard Bank Stadium in Crestwood. And Mike is one of the ultimate professionals behind the play-by-play mic. He told me how he runs his ship. I said that's fine. And he also said, you know, he wanted to get some bits. He wanted to get some bits from his games, and I said, sure, I'll bring my bag of toys. I don't mind. So it was the first series in last June, where they played the Thunderbolts, and I brought my bag of tricks, my headphones, my mixer, my computer, and everything. So took the feed from his mixer and put it into my computer and recorded basically all 6 broadcasts that we did. So, and Mike said a couple of things that had me cracking up laughing, and he turned and looked at me. This is before the first game. This is before the first game where the Miners played the Thunderbolts. And he turned and looked at me and he said, "Brian, I'm sorry. I know you're a guest, but I'm sorry about all the swearing." And I looked at Mike Ventola in the eyes and I said, "Mike, you don't have to apologize. My favorite comedian is George Carlin. And he's had the biggest smile on his face. And he goes, so you don't mind? I'm like, are you kidding? How can you not love George Carlin? But I used all that backstory to tell you this. Mike is off to a new venture beginning April 1st when he just announced yesterday, he is now the new radio voice of the Reading Fighting Phils. And Mike, my brother, I couldn't be more proud and I couldn't be happier for a person that has put in his work, that has put in his time, and has learned everything that he needed to learn, especially around the game of baseball. Especially around the game of baseball. He and I had so much fun doing the games at Standard Bank Stadium. It wasn't even funny. But you can, if you listen to Mike, and I'm encouraging you guys to listen to him when he does the Reading Phils this year. I know I will. He and I talked yesterday by phone, and he paid me a compliment that I will never forget when, you know, he told me thanks, and he said, I consider you a big brother. And Mike, I love you. I loved working with you. I love listening to you. And as a broadcasting brother, I love you, my friend. You will do great in Reading. You will do great wherever you go. And so much so, he's going to join me tomorrow to kick off the second half of the show. We got it set up. And usually I tape my mic-to-mic segments well beforehand because of scheduling. Mike is going to join me live for part of the second half of the show tomorrow to kick off the second half of the show for Mike to Mike. So, Mr. Ventola, I would be honored to have you as a guest tomorrow for Mike to Mike, and we talk all things broadcasting. And I just had to pay tribute to this brother because he's done a lot in a short amount of time. He, Tim Calderwood, Brett Myers, Adam Young, everybody in Terry Bonadonna, everybody in the Frontier League who I've had the pleasure of meeting, they're all fun guys to talk to. But I'm going to have this guy, Mike Ventola, I'm going to have him on, and he's always asking me, you know, Brian, how can I get better? How can I get better? I'm asking that of him and the other guys too. That's what it's all about. It's all about getting better. So Mike will join me tomorrow for the second half of the show, and I'm overdue for a break, but I'm gonna have to go to a break. But I close with I end the segment with this. I cannot wait for y'all to hear Mike Ventola on the show tomorrow. He is an absolute joy to talk to as a person and as a broadcaster, and he and I share a common denominator, and that is our love for one Vin Scully, greatest baseball announcer ever. So I'll have him on tomorrow. I'm overdue for a break. Doggone it. Who cares? I'm having fun here. When we come back, we'll talk all things WrestleMania, and I know Josh will have a couple of notes for me about this. But Josh posed a very interesting question yesterday on his show, Pro Wrestling Experience. I'll repeat the question in a deuce.
Hey, you guys. Could I ask you a couple questions?
Okay.
Saving money, what's it like for you?
Well, I'm an artist, so it happens sporadically.
But it does happen?
It does happen, and when it happens, it feels really, really good.
With easier savings at TCF Bank, what would you save for?
Oh, clothes and shoes.
Housing repairs.
To buy a new car.
I'm saving for grad school.
And then I'm hoping to just save up, just to have savings, period.
What would make it easier to save money?
Having like a sugar mama.
Which isn't a bad plan, but if you needed a banking plan or something, what would make it easier?
Something with an
automatic transfer?
Something with an automatic transfer, probably.
So you wouldn't even notice the money?
Automatically transferred.
Automagical.
Automagical, oh my gosh.
How much could you save if saving were actually easy? Open an account at the home of free checking today and find out. For locations and more information, call 1-855-OPEN-TCF or go to tcfbank.com. TCF Bank. Surprisingly simple. Member FDIC.
At Strachan Van Til, everything we do is designed around you. From the uncompromising freshness down every aisle to the unbeatable quality you'll always find. It's the very best selection from choice meats to bakery. And getting honest value every single day, all with the friendly personal service and the savings that you deserve. That's built around you. That's Strachan Van Til. Visit svtgroceries.com today.
I had to zap some people with that. $41 beyond the hour here on Snowman in the Morning. Here in Chicago, we thank you for joining us. And we are presented by Fusion Ions Bands. Fusion Ions, live your best. Hey, folks, Marquette Catholic Hoops is finally back on the air after a month absence due to the weather. And we'll have a double dip for you. Friday, they host Wheeler in a makeup game that was set for February 3rd. And on Saturday, they will host the home closer against Calumet. And it's also senior night. 3 seniors will be honored. We'll have all the seniors on for the pregame show. Pregame Friday set for 6:45. Pregame Saturday set for 6. Because we're going to talk to the seniors. We're going to have a whole lot of fun with that. Now, back to business. WrestleMania 30 comes to the Superdome in New Orleans. And also the WWE Hall of Fame. I say WWF still. I don't care. The WWF Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony will take place at the New Orleans Arena. And this year, the Ultimate Warrior, Lita, and Jake the Snake Roberts will all be enshrined in the Hall of Fame. You know, and Josh mentioned something that's very true on Pro Wrestling Experience, and I had the pleasure of talking with him. What Josh mentioned was the theme of forgiveness with the 3 stars that are going to be inducted this year, Jake, the Warrior, and Lita. And I love Jake the Snake Roberts. He was a heel for many years, but I love Jake the Snake. Okay? It was just something that, you know, you wanted to see what he was going to do next. He was one of those heels that you wanted to watch. Thanks, Mike. He said, loves your topic on Bulls, LeBron, and Reggie. Hey, it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. Like I said, Mike will be on with me tomorrow. But the theme is forgiveness for, and this is what this is Josh's point. And I think he made a true one. And Jeff gave me this answer. Let me correct something here. Jeff gave me this answer. I think it is about forgiveness in many, many ways, because Lita, Jake the Snake, and the Warrior were 3 cornerstones of the WWF era. 3 big cornerstones. And Josh posed a very interesting question. And the question was this: do you think that Scott Hall deserves a place in the Hall of Fame? I say yes. I mean, take the alcohol and drug problems out of the equation. Take the fact that his life has been saved. Like I said, take all the personal turmoil out of the equation and look at his performance, just his flat-out performance. I think Scott Hall deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. And in particular for 2 factions, the character of Razor Ramon and when he was with the NWO. It's hard to tell which of those 2 points really made Scott Hall. And I'm inclined to think, well, both had an equal impact on wrestling. Both parts of Scott Hall did. But I'm inclined to think that more for his portrayal of Razor Ramon, and the reason being is because of the staying power of Razor Ramon. NWO had staying power also when they were strictly with WCW. You kind of saw a little falling off when they came to the WWF in 2002. You saw a little bit of falling off because they were more characters than wrestlers. But at the same time, Scott Hall helped make both parts very, very successful. So I really believe Scott Hall deserves a place in the Hall of Fame. Drug problems and drinking problems be damned, okay? If you want to look at someone if you want someone to be in the Hall of Fame, look at their performance and their impact on the sport that you want them in the Hall of Fame for. And Scott Hall has definitely done that. I mean that from the heart. I'm also happy that he's getting his act together. So one day, let's hope he gets the call as well. Snowman in the Morning, presented in part by Slugmaster Baseball and Softball Hitting and Trading Aids. Slugmaster, turning batters into hitters. Hey, folks, if you like what you're hearing here on the Arena Sports Network and Snowman in the Morning, why don't you consider becoming a listener partner? For only $30 a year, you can help ASN meet its goals, which is bringing the spotlight back to the student athletes, and your contribution can make this happen. For more information, call 312-451-4041 or visit thearenasportsnetwork.com/listener partner. Now then, well, in that case, Jeff has this. Better put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. I've always said that. I've always said, you know what, this could turn into a great debate for next week. In fact, I'm going to put this on the board, and I'm going to start this with Jeff and anybody else who comes in next week. ASN Digest goes like this. We got game tomorrow in Michigan City, Marquette Catholic and Wheeler. That's a makeup game from February 3rd. Because of Snowmageddon 2014, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. In fact, I was supposed to talk about it this hour, but Mike Ventola tuned in, and I had to show the Broadcasting Brothers some love, period. And he's going to join me tomorrow. Saturday, we got Marquette Catholic and Calumet for the regular season Greater South Shore Conference title. You'll hear that live beginning at 6 p.m., hour-long pregame show. Oh, even Liz weighs in. Put Pete Rose in. I've always said that, and I will continue to say that. In fact, I might do that tomorrow. Y'all just gave me an idea. I might do that tomorrow. Saturday, Marquette Catholic and Calumet for the Greater South Shore Conference regular season championship. The tournament has already been decided. It's one of the weird factions of Indiana basketball that I'm trying to get used to. They've already played the conference tournament that was won by Bishop Knoll. The regular season title, if Marquette wins, that will be decided. The regular season title will be decided, and you can hang a banner in the Shoal Center. And I'm going to love seeing that. Now then, we're a minute away from keep it here. Okay, being told to keep it here, and I can't wait to do this. I know I'm going to do this again tomorrow, but I'm going to do it now. And Liz, honey, I love you. I miss you. And I know I'm 24 hours early, but happy birthday, my dear. Now it's time for our Gigahertz question of the day, presented by Gigahertz, the official computer solutions company of the Arena Sports Network. Gigahertz, and that's where we come in. Another quick programming plug. Jeff Escott will join me tomorrow to talk college basketball, and lots of it, East and West Coast. Now, I got a few more things that I'm going to work into the show here as college baseball season gets underway. And speaking of baseball, that's our trivia question. Now, Billy Smith, Mike Ventola, anybody who's a baseball aficionado, listen carefully to this question, and I want y'all to have fun with it. And it goes like this. What is your ultimate fearsome foursome pitching staff? I'm talking starting pitchers. What is your ultimate fearsome foursome? The 4 pitchers that could, you know what, I'll just go ahead and put it out there. The 4 pitchers that could sweep a World Series the way the White Sox did it in 2005, the way the Red Sox did it in 2007. What are your 4 pitchers that you would take to the mound and get you those 4 wins when you absolutely had to have them? I'm waiting to hear some responses back on that, but I can tell you 3 of mine right now. And no, none of them. I'll explain later. I can tell you 3 of them right now. Greg Maddux, Randy Johnson, Tom Glavine, and the 4th one for me would be Nolan Ryan. And Josh gave me his 4, and this is a good one. Josh Lopez says Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens, and Justin Verlander. So we got the past and the present mixed in. I like that. 3 right-handers and a lefty. I have 2 lefties in my fearsome foursome, Glavine and Randy Johnson. I can't wait to see the responses. The responses of this, and I'm waiting on Jeff to give me a response, and also waiting for folks that see the question on the Facebook page. And Jeff gave me his response right now. It is Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, Nolan Ryan, and Sandy Koufax. Oh, wow. I didn't think about that. Good one, Jeff. Good one. Mike Ventola, give me your fearsome foursome. I'm waiting to hear back from Mike. I love it. So 2 lefties in Jeff's fearsome foursome. Oh, and Alex Courtwright he did it. All right. I gotta be a little homer here, because Alex Courtwright said this foursome from 2005, and of course it's the White Sox fearsome foursome: Mark Burley, Jose Contreras, Freddie Garcia, and John Garland. So you got 3 righties and a lefty there. Thank you, Alex Courtwright, for tuning in and responding. But I know this is a tough question. I know this is a tough question. Liz, honey, give me your fearsome foursome. Let's see what Liz comes up with as well. I'm waiting on Mike Ventola, and I'm waiting on Liz to give me their fearsome foursome. But these 4, here we go, and she gave me her fearsome foursome. They are Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux. I think she got confused. She put Mike Schmidt in there. But you know what? I'll switch the last one. I'll switch the last one for her. Liz, give me another pitcher in place of Mike Schmidt. Does Mike Schmidt play 3rd base? So the ones I have so far: Alex Courtwright Facebooked his response. Mark Burley, Jose Contreras, John Garland, and Freddie Garcia. Josh Lopez gave me Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens, and Justin Verlander. Jeff Escal gave me Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, Nolan Ryan, and Sandy Koufax. We need trivia questions. Hold on, Josh. Hold on. And you know what? I'm gonna have a little fun with Josh during the second half of the show. But again, who is your fearsome foursome pitching staff? That's what I want to know. Who is your fearsome foursome? I haven't heard from Doc Prince yet. Probably because he's running around scrambling. Trying to... Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, do I have a Mike Ventola, buddy? I love this. Fearsome foursome. This is what Mike Ventola just sent me on Facebook. Pedro Martinez, Sandy Koufax, Nolan Ryan, and Roger Clemens. Ho, ho, wow. What a foursome that is. Huh? I love doing these. I love doing the question of the day. I haven't heard from Merch yet either. I don't think he's able to tune us in today. Don't think he's able to tune us in, at least not yet. But, again, my fearsome foursome, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, Randy Johnson, and Nolan Ryan. That's my foursome. 2 lefties, 2 righties. And I don't have to explain their records. I don't have to explain their achievements. They speak for themselves. And each one of them got better as time went on. You know, I know there's a lot of pitchers that I left off. I know there is. But at the same time, we can debate this. Yeah, this is what I love about doing this show. It becomes high school sports. It becomes a sports conversation you have in the lunchroom in high school all over again. Wow! There you go, Liz. Hey, here's one. Her 4th pitcher, Dwight Gooden. Wow! How do you like that? My better half just zapped me. I didn't see this one coming at all. I love it. Keep those responses coming. If you can, also tweet them. Tweet them to @SnowMorningShow. And Jeff just gave me 4 more. Oh, my God, this is great. Bob Gibson, Catfish Hunter, Sandy Koufax, and Ron Guidry, Louisiana Lightning. Okay, I got one. Let's do another one. Let's do another fearsome foursome. What would old Snowman do for a fearsome foursome? Okay, how about this? Bob Gibson, Warren Spahn, Roger Clemens, and I'll go with Ron Guidry. I had to put Warren Spahn in the equation somehow. How about a fearsome foursome of lefties? How about that? And I think I have my 4. How about let's have some fun here. How about a fearsome foursome of lefties? And mine would be Sandy Koufax, Randy Johnson, Mark Burley, and Steve Carlton. I loved watching Steve Carlton pitch, man. Let's see what the folks in the chat room and the folks that are tuning in can do with that. Let's switch it around a little bit. We got a couple minutes before we go to our next break. How about a fearsome foursome of lefties? Let's see what you can Mike, I know you're tuned in. Mike, how about a fearsome foursome of lefties? Let's see what you can and Mike's a baseball rat, one of many that I know. You know what I think my dad's fearsome foursome would be Gibson, Koufax, Maddux, and Ryan. Oh, here's another 4 that Josh just sent me. Gibson, Tom Seaver, Steve Carlton, and Phil Niekro. Man, I love it. Keep them coming. Fearsome foursome of lefties. Oh, this is what Jeff sent me. Sandy Koufax, Ron Guidry, Tom Glavine, and Randy Johnson. Wow. The possibilities are endless with this. Man, the possibilities are endless. Don't y'all love this? And this leads right into our baseball conversation. Oh, man. I love the fact that that y'all have tuned in. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. And all right, now I got to go to a break. Before I go to a break, folks, if you're near the Michigan City area and if you're not doing anything on March 3rd, why don't you come out to the Shoals Center where Marquette Catholic calls home and witness trick hoops and alley-oops with the Harlem Wizards. They've been in operation since 1962. Game time is 7. Doors open at 6, and you can get tickets for as low as $10. Call 219-873-1325, extension 232, or you can get your tickets online at www.harlemwizards.com. Again, the number to call, 219-873-1325, extension 232. Tickets start at $10. That's the Harlem Wizards, coming March 3rd to the Shoals Center in Michigan City. And I got to go to a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little more baseball, and I'll have Josh's wish for some trivia. And I got some good ones. And Josh, you cannot cheat. You can't cheat in a deuce.
I heard you wrote that rhyme.
I've got a fresh rhyme that I just wrote, son, about the Wizards.
Hey, tell him about me, though.
I got you in there.
Tell him about the trick hoops and alley-oops.
I got that in there.
Okay,
son. Check it out.
Tell him about the fundraising, though. The fundraising is crazy.
I got that in there, too, baby.
Okay, wait. Tell him it's for a good cause.
I got that.
Okay. But listen.
Let me hear that.
Hold on. Make sure you tell him trick hoops and alley-oops. You're gonna make it tie your boots. What is it? The Wizards. What team is it? The Wizards.
Spitting the ball. Pass the ball.
Gigahertz, providing customers with excellent service since 2008. Computer problem? Leave it to the staff at Gigahertz, priding themselves with an unparalleled work ethic and continuing to offer customers the lowest prices around. Gigahertz services include PC repair, networking, PC setup, custom PC builds, pickup and delivery, in addition to in-home and in-office service. Get small to large business solutions, service contracts, and much more. Computer problems? Gigahertz. And that's where we come in. Gigahertz for your computer repair and solution needs. In-home, in-store, wherever it's convenient for you. Think your PC's infected? Gigahertz offers free virus diagnostics, with most virus removals done in 48 hours or less. Plus, they'll optimize your PC. Take that, Best Buy. Give Gigahertz a call. 219-218-9323. That's 219-218-9323. Or log on to gigahertzpc.net. Gigahertz, and that's where we come in.
Have you ever dreamed of being a karate master?
Yeah!
Well, stop dreaming and start chopping with the Karate Glove.
Hi, my name's Molly, inventor of the Karate Glove, and I have just 1.5 words for you. Hi-ya!
The Karate Glove chops through anything. Just put it on and instantly chop through wood, concrete, brick walls, trees, small cars. It can even chop through these 8 guitars. It chops things.
If I can invent a karate glove, just imagine what you can do. Visit inventnow.org to get started on your invention. Anything's possible. Keep thinking.
Brought to you by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, the National Inventors Hall of Fame Foundation, and the Ad Council.
It's Hiya time!
You gotta keep them separated.
All right. Second half of Snowman in the Morning starts right now. And this portion presented by Gigahertz, the official computer solutions company of the Arena Sports Network. Okay. Had a few other things planned for this portion, but pardon me. But considering the fact I do have 3 games this weekend, we're going to skip ahead to trivia time, take another break, and then we're going to close because I really need to rest my voice because I don't want Liz yelling at me. So, Josh, I have your wish. Let's do trivia time right now. And trivia time is presented by one of our newest sponsors, the ASN Travel Network. You need to take a vacation. You need to do something special. Want to plan something special? You can plan your trip, get a rental car, everything through ASN Travel. Go to thearenasportsnetwork.com, click on the ASN Travel logo, to find out much more and find out how you can save more on your trip than anything else. All right. Now, I've started doing this. Where's my... I'm trying to find a... I can't find it. Okay, I found it. I started doing this a little over a week ago. And the subject of this trivia time is NCAA women's basketball. Or NCAA basketball, period. Okay? NCAA basketball is the subject. Here's how the scoring works. I have 5 questions in front of me. The first 4 are worth 3 points apiece. The last one is the most difficult one. It's the tiebreaker. It's worth triple. It's worth 9 points. All right, let's get started. Liz, Jeff, Josh here in the chat room with me. Mike Ventola, Billy Smith checking in through Facebook. Let's get started here. Here is the first question, and it goes like this. Name the last women's team to go undefeated and win it all and win the national championship. That's the first question. Name the last women's team to go undefeated and win the national championship. Anybody got any guesses? Oh, Josh is going to Raw at Rosemont Horizon. Thank you. Somebody that still calls it Rosemont Horizon. I still can't say All City Arena to save my life. Oh, Jeff scored first. Baylor. He got it. So Jeff gets the first one. Josh says Connecticut. Wrong answer, sir. It is Baylor. They went 40-0, and I want to say 2012 was when they did that deed. So Jeff scores first. He gets the first 3 points. And Liz just scored 2. So she came up with the correct answer. She gets 3. In fact, let me do this. Liz, you already got it, honey. It was Baylor. So Liz and Jeff has scored. They get 3 points. And I'm going to wait and see if anybody else is, before I move on to the next question. I'm going to see if anybody else has scored yet. The other guys haven't checked in, so we're going to move on. Question number 2 goes like, and I just lost my questions. No, I didn't. They're right here in front of me. Okay. All right. Here's the second question. Which stadium hosted the largest crowd for an NCAA title game? Men's title game. Talking men's title game. Which stadium hosted the largest crowd for an NCAA men's title game? Talking men's championship game. Which stadium had the largest crowd? I want to see if Josh can get this one. Anybody who gets it right gets 3 points. No matter if you, and I wanted to be fair. Josh says Ford Field. Wrong answer. I want to see if someone gets this. If you get it, you get 3 points. Liz and Jeff scored on the last one, with Baylor being the answer. Liz says Lucas Oil. Sorry, wrong answer. They're the third highest. Third highest. Oh, come on. I can't have stumped you guys on this one. Keep trying. Keep trying. I'm expecting someone to give me the correct answer. And he said, Jeff says Michigan. Incorrect answer. I'm actually loving this. Oh, come on. I don't want to stump you guys. I'll repeat the question. Josh's Cowboy Stadium. Wrong answer. That's this year, and I bet they're going to break the record. But incorrect answer. Keep guessing. Keep guessing, guys. Oh. And while you do that, I'm going to take a sip of water here. Hold on. That's better. Jeff says Superdome. Wrong answer. I will drop this clue. It's very recent. Hey, Josh, you remember this song in the background during the Exelon files? Somebody's got to get this one. Somebody's got to get this one. Okay, I'll repeat the question again. Which stadium hosted the largest crowd for an NCAA men's championship? Carrier Dome. Wrong answer, Josh. All right, I'll give you all this clue. Go south. Go south. I'm going to have to move on here in a moment. No, I don't. Nice try, Jeff. James A. Stewart State. No. Wrong answer. Josh got it. Josh got the answer. I want to see if anybody else gets it before I move on. In fact, I better move on right now. Josh got the correct answer. It is the Georgia Dome. And that was last year, 74,000 plus. So Josh scored with that one. Now try this one. And in fact, with this one, I'm going to double the points. Name the last men's team to have an undefeated season and not win it all. All right. Question again. Who was the last team to have an last men's team to have an undefeated season and not win it all? Let's see who will ring in first on this one. Jeff says Kentucky. Wrong. Wrong answer. Josh also guesses Kentucky. Wrong answer. Liz says North Carolina. Incorrect answer. Here's the question again. Who was the last men's basketball team, talking men's basketball on this question, to have an undefeated season and not win it all? Guesses I got were Kentucky and North Carolina, and both of those are wrong. See if someone can get this. Let me see if someone can get this one. This is a little tougher. Oh, come on, guys. Try again. I want to see. All right, you know what? I'll come back to this question. Let's go to the fourth one. Fourth question, Josh says Indiana. Wrong answer. Let me go to the fourth question, and then I'll come back. Who was the last men's team to go undefeated and win the championship? We did that question for the women. We're going to do it for the men. And Jeff just scored. Indiana. Jeff scored with the fourth question. The correct answer is Indiana. Now let's go back to the third one. Name the last team to have it. The last men's team. Liz says UCLA. Wrong answer. Jeff says UNLV. Wrong answer there. Last men's team to have an undefeated season and not win the title. Liz guesses Indiana. Incorrect. Don't tell me I stumped you guys with this. Come on, Josh. I know you got a couple of guesses in there somewhere. I think for time purposes, I'm going to have to give you this answer. The last NCAA men's team to go undefeated and not win the championship, the year was 2004, and the team was St. Joseph's. Remember, they had a fellow named Jameer Nelson at the time. So nobody got that one, unfortunately. Now here is the tiebreaker. This is the question that is worth 9 points. It's worth triple the points. And this is the question. Listen carefully. All right? I want y'all to listen carefully. In terms of the NCAA tournament, men's and women's tournament, who is the only number 16 seed to defeat a number 1? All right? Who is the only number 16 seed to beat a number 1 seed in an NCAA basketball tournament? And this is the tiebreaker because Jeff's in the lead with 6, and Liz and Josh each have 3. So Jeff can put it away, or Liz and Josh could come back and win. And Josh is already 2-0 on these. I'm surprised I don't have a guess on that one yet. Here's the question one more time. Who is the only number 16? Who is the only 16 seed to defeat a number 1? Talking all things trivia with college basketball here, and Josh just scored and won the game. The answer is Harvard. The year was 1998. Oh, man. Josh comes back and wins again. 1998 when that deed was done. So Josh scores the tiebreaker and wins. Thanks to all who participated. This is a lot of fun. Now, I'll close with this. Tom Thibodeau said something during a timeout one year when the Bulls were playing Orlando, and the Bulls were in front at the time, and the only thing he said to the guys in terms of being in the being in the right spot, right time, and all the usual. He said, build your lead, man. Build your lead. And the Bulls did build their lead. I think it was at 12 at the time, and they went on and won by 28 and held Orlando to 59 points. Those words stuck in my head when he kept saying, build your lead. Every day, we do something to build our lead. And once you get the lead in terms of figuring out what you want and need to do, you build on it. You have to build on it every day, be it personal, be it professional, physical, spiritual, mental. Build your lead. Build on that lead. Get stronger. Get better. Always get better. People ask me all the time, how can I get better doing play-by-play? How can I get better as a producer? How can I get better as an announcer, period? But it's simple. For me, what I do whenever I get done with a game, and I've done this all 18 years I've been active, I would listen to parts of it. And you are your own worst critic. I know I'm my own worst critic. I listened to games that I did, and I would catch every little mistake. I'd write them down and I'd try to correct them. You can do that with anything. Think of what you've done before. Think of what you've done before, and just remember how you can get better. Think of how you can get better. Build your lead. Build on your lead. Build on yourself. Build on your team. That's what we're doing here at ASN. We're always building on our team. Always striving to get better. Always striving to get stronger. And let me have a little fun here while I'm delivering this message. If anybody gets in your way, give them a couple of these.
Hadouken!
Give them a couple of these. And a couple of these. And at the end of each day, you can hear,
you win. Perfect.
But just build on your lead, man. Just build on everything that you have worked for and then take it to the next level. In fact, a question that you should ask yourself every day, and I do it. I do it every morning. I wake up and thank God for another day. What can I do to get better as a person, and what can I do to make my team better? And sometimes I get the answer immediately, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes the answer will come to me halfway through the day, and sometimes the answer will come to me right at the end of the day. But I'll still get my answer. I'll still get my answer. Even sometimes when I want to say, damn, I'll still get the answer. These words, build your lead, have stuck with me ever since I heard them. And that's what we have to do as individuals and as a team. Let's work together to build on that lead, because especially when it comes to ASN, a lot of people don't know we're coming. They're going to find out real quick. And we're getting a lot of positive feedback, not just about the show, but about the network in general and about the stuff that we're doing. And we appreciate it all. We really appreciate it. We appreciate everything. In fact, I got a compliment from the folks at the Noble Network that listened to the championship game that we did, and Josh and I both lost our ears. And Josh warned me that night. He said, I'd never seen a crowd this packed. And, you know, Josh made the point you would think you were playing in front of 20,000 people. But we got a great compliment saying thank you for all the work that you're doing for the Noble Network and letting people know that we're improving as a conference. And we're improving as a company. Every single day. Every detail. It's attention. Building your lead is attention to detail. Building your lead is attention to detail, and that's all it is. Where did you mess up? How can you fix it? That's it. That's all. You keep doing that, and no one will stop you. And no one will even think of stopping you because you won't let them. Don't let them. Build your lead, folks. No matter what you do for a living, no matter how you do it or how often you do it, do it well and build your lead. The last thing you need to do is to let an enemy or a nemesis come from behind. I talked about killer instinct earlier in the show today. Show the killer instinct by continuing to get better. Show the killer instinct by continuing to get stronger. And show the killer instinct by continuing to prove to yourself. You don't have to prove it to anybody else. Prove it to yourself that you are and always will be the better person. It's my message for today. Build your lead, folks. Build your lead. And with that in mind,
that's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Oh, man. Wasn't that great, kid?
I talked a little baseball today. Going to talk a little more tomorrow. Jeff Escow will join me during the first half of the show to talk some college basketball. Mike to Mike tomorrow to kick off the second hour with the newest voice of the Reading Fighting Phils in Mike Ventola. He will join me live via the Gigahertz hotline. I thank everybody for their support of the show and of the network. We're building our lead, folks. We hope you do too. Have a great day. God bless. I love y'all. And remember to make your next move your best move. Have a great day, everybody.